Class 8, Subject Chemistry, Chapter 4, Materials, Metals and Non-Metals, Module 3. Objectives. At the end of this session, you will be able to know the displacement reaction. Displacement reactions. Recall the activity of the reaction between copper sulfate and iron that you performed in class 7. Take 5 beakers and name them as A, B, C, D and E. Take about 50 ml water in each beaker. Now add CuSO4, that is copper sulfate, and few zinc granules in beaker A. In beaker B, add copper sulfate and an iron nail. In beaker C, add ZnSO4, that is zinc sulfate, and copper turnings. Add FeSO4, that is iron sulfate, and copper turnings to beaker D. Add zinc sulfate and iron nail to beaker E. Keep the beakers undisturbed for some time. Let's see what are the changes that we will observe in these 5 beakers. You know that the metal can displace another metal from its compound in a solution. So in beakers A and B there will be a change, and in the other 3 beakers there will be no change. If you look at the reaction that happens when you mix copper sulfate and zinc, you will see that the zinc displaces copper out of its compound and takes its place. That is why the blue color of copper sulfate disappears and a powdery red mass of copper is deposited at the bottom of the beaker. So it displaces copper. This is the equation for the reaction. Zn plus CuSO4 gives ZnSO4 plus Cu. The word equation is zinc plus copper sulfate gives zinc sulfate plus copper. Hence, it is a displacement reaction. So what will happen in beaker B? You can write down the reaction taking place in beaker B in a similar manner. The equation for the reaction is Fe plus CuSO4 gives FeSO4 plus Cu. And the word equation is iron plus copper sulfate gives iron sulfate plus copper. Can copper displace zinc from the zinc compound? No. Why not? Because zinc is more reactive. A more reactive metal can replace a less reactive metal, but a less reactive metal cannot replace a more reactive metal. So we can define displacement reaction as a reaction in which a more reactive metal displaces a less reactive from their compound in solution.